Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I think this subject of efficiency should not be a debatable subject. I don't think it should mark any general opposition, but it should be discussed and debated in details. So the fight should be at the details. That is the new Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, where Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy will head in a certain way. I will show you here in two articles, and I will discuss if this is necessary and why it should be no political debate on its existence or not. Because this, I think, is one of the subjects, one of the many subjects where we all agree upon. We need to be efficient. We need not waste resources. Wasting is not good, right? As much as we can. And that is the detail. To what extent the new Department of Government Efficiency will cut jobs and be efficient. Because the efficiency with consumption could be reduced to zero if there's no consumers. So that's why this should be debated, the details, the level of slashing jobs and the efficiency. But I have here an article first showing you how CNN considers that this DOGE thing is bad. No, I think we should be united. Like, for instance, do good. No, we're helping others. It should be a general. We shouldn't be like, oh my God, we should not help others in need or so on. It's a voluntary thing. You should not be mandated to do that. There's no laws to do, or you have to help. It's a voluntary thing. But I think we all agree that we should do good things. We should help others in need. Now the details, how much, with a Lamborghini or with, I don't know, $100 or maybe a hot meal or something, or an embrace or whatever you have. These are the details. Now these guys in the mass media are not talking about the details much. They talk about, no, this is impossible to implement the DOGE agenda. I don't think it's impossible. I think it should be supported as a general rule. Details, we're going to discuss those. So here is the first article from CNN. There is a rude awakening in store for the DOGE brothers. So here are the DOGE brothers. Got it? Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk, right here. And they give you an example from the past where they say that they didn't find, actually, they tried before. They tried, presidential Ronald Reagan, Grace Commissions began its quest to get rid of hundreds of billions of dollars in wasteful spending. And they say they didn't find anything. Nothing. They couldn't do anything. He said it was zero. You couldn't do it. That means don't even bother. Now this reminds me of getting our money to give it to bankrupt big businesses like General Motors or others, banking system and investment companies, because they were too big to fail. Remember that one? No, nothing is too big to fail. Fail it and they will restructure it. And you say, Emil, yes, I understand. But there's consequences, How many people would, be outside and blah, blah, blah. Well, who created this? We know who created that. Get them. No? You can't just say because it's too big of a crime, we can't indict and convict the criminals. No, we can. That's why you have the government, the government and the elected officials. They think that it can only be, voted out of the office because of whatever immunity they have and so on. No. You can't screw up a country for 5 generations and just go back and become a multimillionaire being a CEO to Raytheon, for instance, or Lockheed Martin, or Boeing, or who knows what, Rheinmetall in Germany. So what do we have here? The CNN says, no, don't even try. No. That is in the detail. I think this DOGE should be implemented, should be there. The problem is the extent. And I'm going to show you the next article where this is what these guys are proposing. That's the word, Jesus Christ. And here it is. Jesus Christ, where are you? Here. And this comes from the Independent. Mike Johnson says he's aiming to axe 75% of all federal, remember, federal, not state, federal agencies. You can say, well, that's interconnected, some federal agencies with the state agencies. I got that one. With Elon Musk's help. And this is what this guy said. House Speaker Mike Johnson intends to cut, it's an intention, 75 if you can. I don't know, you have this article that I just spoke about. No, it's a rude awakening. You don't even try. Of all federal agencies with the help of Elon Musk's outside commission known as the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. And I'm quoting, we certainly hope to slash the number of federal agencies from 428 to 99, as Musk has vowed, Johnson said in response to a question from Fox News. Now, let's discuss this. It doesn't mean that if you go from 428 to 99, you will have less employees. You know what I mean? So let's say all these 428 employ, let's say, 50 million people. I'm exaggerating. 50 million people. So 428 employ 50 million. And then you're going to have 99 with 90 million. So you take from those, you hire them here, plus extra. So I don't want to see that. So don't get fooled by the number of federal agencies. Look at the number of employees. And the people who would cry losing their job, maybe they should blame the guys that they voted for creating the bubble. Now, efficiency. Some jobs are not necessary or could be privatized. Like, for instance, education. Education could be privatized. We don't have to have the government having these things and blah, 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 blah. That's one example. Like, for instance, child protective services should not be at the level it is. Should not be, very inefficient, I tell you directly. I think child protective services should be done like this and then attached to the police department. Extra department within the police department. That's how I think. They have it, I know that, but it shouldn't be like it is right now. Why? But if you say, oh, we need more, you need more because you lower the threshold of an alleged abuse. I know that for a fact. All right, so that's a different story. So now we'll talk about efficiency. We want efficiency, all right? But efficiency obviously depends on our standard of living, the necessity, the need. I don't know if you guys remember when we were kids, we were talking about robots working for us, and we just, remember? Where is that? Remember when, and that's for me, about 40 years ago. I don't know about you. Do you remember when we were talking about the flying cars? Again, about 40 years ago, in the 1980s, the children were talking about, oh, we're going to have flying. Where are they? Not even the United States of America has flying cars. No one. No robots. We work more, we get paid less, and we can buy less. What kind of deal that is? And now they talk about AI. AI is going to do our jobs. Yeah? And what are we going to do? Work harder and longer hours? I think that's what's going to be. So it's a racket. When you hear in your departments, wherever you work, for the government, state government, or federal government, we don't have, or your politicians coming in front of you, in front of a commission or a city hall and saying, I know what, we don't have funds to do this. Your question should be, you gave Ukraine almost $200 billion. I don't accept that. $1 billion that we don't have, you printed it or you got it from your lenders. So you have, if there's a will, there's a way. Look at the infrastructure. Look at the schools level, how they're depleted. They look like garbage. Look at the hospitals and look at many other things. We work more. We have to get the kids now to work because two parents cannot support themselves. You have the kids. I'm not going to have a kid because I can't live a life. This is the greatest country in the world. People live almost here with their money. All right. Let's go here. So I will give you this example. It was a friend of mine at that time who lives in Canada. And I bought my first house and I was very happy about it. My first house, I didn't buy. You don't buy it. You don't have a house until you paid it off. Until then, it's the bank's house. How you know that? I don't know. Stop making about 5 payments and you're going to find out who really owns that house. So it's not your house until you pay it off. And when you pay it off, you still have to pay taxes. So if these guys want to really take your house away, they will increase your taxes, you can't pay, and you're going to sell it. And who's going to buy it? The big businesses. They're going to get it and rent it. Or the banks. They're going to just put it on a foreclosure. I know these things by heart. Why? I was involved in those things as well. So what's going on here? So this former friend of mine, when I bought my house, he came to my house, looks very nice, but no. Instead of celebrating with me, because of my happiness, that's what a friend would do, right? If a friend sees you happy, he's not gonna burst your bubble, as someone says. No, you don't burst a friend's bubble if that person is happy, if you're the friend. And this guy started saying, you bought a house, but you're gonna lose money. He was living in an apartment in Canada, not buying it, renting it, and saving money. He was working hard. His wife, they didn't have any children. So anyway, so what happened? They said, you're going to lose money in the long run. I said, yeah, no, because the house is usually, appreciating time, and, when you lose it. Then he tried to make a calculation, tried to prove to me that I was inefficient, I was making a mistake. But he, on the other hand, by living in an apartment, in a 1-bedroom apartment, he has a better life, and he's going to save a lot of money. And then eventually I realized what the jig was here, and I said, you know what, but I like it this way. This is my standard of living. I want to have children. I don't want to live in a house, in a 1-bedroom apartment, because you don't want to have children. So I have a standard of living that I want to implement. I want to have a garage. I want to have land. I have to do whatever I want here. That's a standard of living. That's the way I want to live my life. And I work for it. Nobody gives it to me. America did not give it to me. America made me work if I want it. That's all America gave me. You want to work? Right there. You work, and then you save money, you organize and you discipline and so on, dream big. That's how it works. Oh, America gave you that. No. The ancestors gave me the opportunity, the American ancestors, not this guy right now, give me the opportunity to, if I work hard like a slave and I'm disciplined, I can make it big. And thank you very much. Fantastic. So I told this guy, yeah, but you know what? It would be more efficient. You would save more money if you would move from your apartment, 1-bedroom apartment, to a tent. Tent. So you will be more efficient than being in an apartment or being in my big house. But don't you think? He lost. Why? But you want to live in a tent? I don't want to live in a tent and be efficient. So the same thing with these governmental departments. You can make them efficient, but then if that will cause a lot of harm, a lot of problems, living in a tent, but we are efficient, remember, the best efficiency is no losses, no waste. How do you have that? You don't have a consumer. So what are you going to do? You don't want to have CO2 emission from the combustion engines. You don't have any cars with with combustion engines. That's it. You ban them. But then you say, well, nobody else can have, not everyone can have a car then, because we don't have enough lithium and so on for the electric cars. Well, so be it. You live in a tent. But I will buy whatever I want because I need them. Remember when John Kerry, the CO2 emission, global warming czar, said that when he was asked, he went to a meeting in Iceland. He went and he was asked, how isn't this hypocritical? You fly your jets, paid by the government, jets all over the place, this world, and we ask us to what? Go with a bicycle? Not even breathe because of the CO2 emission? And he said, yeah, but I need it. I need it to promote, So he's a little bit special. He needs a special treatment. No, motherfucker, you go with a rowboat and with a bike. That's what you go. But no, it's not going to be like this. This is my problem. I lived in Romania under a socialist system with one communist party. And some people over there, a very tiny minority of people, could do everything they wanted. Could go to the West, could have vacations in the Western countries, could leave the country, could have foreign currency, like for instance, Deutsche Marks, German Marks, or francs, or dollars. For us, it was a felony if they caught you with 1 penny. One. They could have a lot of things. They can send their children to study abroad in the Western world. We weren't. That's exactly what's going to be here with the CO2 emissions and that's what I think is going to be. It's going that way. And my example was with the mandates. Remember, social distancing in California. I remember when it was a Super Bowl in California and we had the VIPs, the personalities, partying and twerking and showing their booty dancing over there in the fucking stands in their special one with no masks, and the baboons, which is going to be you and I, guarantee you that, we were all with masks, social distancing like baboons. That's exactly what it was in Romania. Some people, we're all equal, but some people are more equal than others. The same thing with the efficiency. How far will these guys go? And then the guys are going to lose their job. I feel sorry for them, but you have to start over. What are you going to do? Go and talk to your Bidens, to your Bushes, to your Obamas, to your Clintons, to these guys. Talk to those guys. You are the product. Your jobs that probably you had, unnecessary, some of them, I guarantee you that. I worked as a CPS investigator, so I know what's efficient in that department. But people that would lose that job, I would say, well, you're not needed, man. You're not needed to go in and investigate that a child stayed outside in the summer playing in the rainwater. That's not an investigation in my CPS. But hey, I investigated exactly that. 3 children. I think one was 9 or 11, 9, and 5. They were playing in the rainwater in the summer, and someone made a report on them. So I had to go over there, spend your fucking money, paid by your taxes, and investigate the big abuse. When I was a child, I was doing exactly that. Look at me. I ended up great, didn't I? So my friends, depends to what extent. But we should be united in being efficient and not wasteful. But now you can say, well, wasteful in a way of you buying the house and the other guy living in an apartment, or being in an apartment, or being in a tent. I don't want to fuck up my standard of living if I work for it. I don't want to work harder than I do and get a lower standard of living because of some czars gonna fly their jets around the world. And not only, they will have the money to have their houses with clean energy. We won't. We will not. They will. And we'll say no air conditioning, but they will have it because it's going to be clean energy somehow, and they will have it because they have the money. If an air conditioning unit at that time with clean energy, I'm just giving a crazy example, would cost, let's say, $100,000, you won't have it. I won't have it, but they will have it. So they are all for it, you understand? They will live in a house, and we're going to live in tents. Or, as I said, in the caves. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Not at all. Not at all. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.